As we move forward, chat, I will leave you an option. We are a month out from the deadline. Here's what you can do. Here's what you can do. You can put your stars on the block to see what offers you get, or you can vote for the nuke. I will tell you what the nuke does. You get one nuke, but you will be allowed to go to Trade Finder, hit Dirk Nowitzki, and see what you can get. You'll be allowed to go to Vince Carter, hit Trade Finder, and see what you can get. You will be allowed to nuke off of this roster whoever you want to try and get a fresh restart. The poll is up. You guys have debated using the nuke for quite a while. It'd be a rough situation given that you already traded your first round pick. But it is true, you have players under contract for a good amount of time. But you are without your 2008 first rounder. Is chat finally going to give in and just nuke it? We've allowed it. The possibility. And chat's going to vote for the nuke. Now, we could wait until deadline day, see what offers you get first. We could do a combination of the two. I mean, it is true. You really picked up business here. So chat is voting for the nuke. I think what we'll do is a combination of the two in fairness. In fairness, combination of the two. Just to see what happens. And funny enough, you can put Marcus Camby on the block. But all of your older dudes, you can't put Shane Battier there yet. It'll be easier to nuke the team as well at the end of the month. It'll be easier to do that at the end of the month when you have like full mobility and can really know what you have going for you. So I mean, this is it. This is it. It's time to drop the bench utilization for your team. I don't think we should wait a month to okay, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. So the nuke is going to happen, apparently. But that is fair. Nuke now to tank. Or wait for the deadline. What do you think? This is a big decision. This is a big decision. That's why I'm giving you multiple options. Basically, if you say wait to tank until the deadline, I'm giving you a chance to say, hey, wait it out. So, you know, I'm willing to let you guys have this civil war because it's a fun time. Let's be honest. It's a fun time. It's a fun time to watch this civil war go down in chat. It really is. I have fun here. I have fun. I'm also supposed to have a black background on that, behind that chat. It's really weird. So we'll see. We'll see what chat votes for here. It's a close vote between waiting for the deadline and tanking. Again, there's always a safety option on a nuke, you know? You do have your pick this year, yes. It's 2008 that you don't have it. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. For some reason, it isn't. I don't know why. I gotta fix it. Well, chat, take the safety net. Well, chat, take the safety net. And hold off on the nuclear option for a month. Or will chat. We'll chat. Elect to blow it up right here and right now. 3 votes. 3 votes separating the options. And Chad elects to wait. So here we go. We are going to sim up to the deadline. I am going to also consider my options. I'm going to consider my options as well here, given that we are struggling a little bit. I at least want to see what I could potentially get for some of my dudes. Apparently, Hal Geiger is outraged. He is outraged, I tell you. So really quickly, we know your team's situation. I don't know why Geiger would be outraged, but thank God Leandro Barbosa is back. I'm also going to drop my bench utilization down to 50. Now that I have a fully healthy team. My team should be playoff caliber, but so should yours for that matter. Yet here we are. So let's see how this next month plays out for both of us. It is worth noting, in terms of an updated contract extension situation, you guys have nothing to worry about. I do still have Ray Allen to worry about. Let's see what happens. And if there are any interesting offers. And if you guys will indeed elect to put that second key in the slot and really go with the nuclear option here. You guys do get a trade-off for Raymond Felton from Manute Bol, which is just terrible. You wouldn't do that even if you did do the nuclear option. You also get a trade offer for Mo Williams, which, again, that's not the type of deal that you're looking for right now. Geiger for Boeheim. Boeheim's 26. Geiger's 25. So honestly, why wouldn't I do this? It's a 1 year older dude. It's a 1 year older dude. He's a little bit shorter. But Boeheim's already signed. I mean, I guess Geiger's technically a 79. So basically, Geiger is 1 overall point better and technically taller. But I can't guarantee that he's going to come back. But if I take Boeheim, I'm guaranteed I at least have a half-decent center locked up. So basically, it's do I take Boeheim or do I risk Geiger leaving for nothing? I do have Turioff as a backup. I am going to decline that and keep the better player for now. We are 2 weeks away from the deadline. Geiger for Johnson in a second. We're going to decline that. So the Timberwolves at 18 and 20. The Magic at 16 and 23. Oof. It's not looking good for the Magic. I mean, Crawford for Warren's probably not worth it. Probably not worth it. That's, what a situation. I mean, Jeff Warren's 33, so absolutely not. We are a week out from the deadline. Geiger for Williams will be a no. Geiger for Johnson in a second will be a no. Crawford for 2010 first. You get a trade-off for Jamal Crawford for Antoine Walker and a 2010 first. Crawford is 25 years old, chat. A- potential. That's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. I mean, the 2010 draft has Paul George, DeMarcus Cousins, John Wall, Gordon Hayward. 2010's too far away. Is it? We've had that approach before. Remember when we thought, yeah, 2005, that's too far away. Do you not see where the fuck we are right now? I mean, I'd personally take it, but looks like chat's going to pass. Looks like chat's going to pass. I would take it. You guys need as much fucking draft capital as you can get, but... I mean, we'll put it up to a vote then. I mean, it's true. Like, if you want to get rid of, if you want to tank Jamal Crawford, getting rid of him, that's a way to do it. And you never know. You might get an offer that involves moving that pick to move up. Like, you never know. Let's see. Do you trade 25-year-old Jamal Crawford? He's not going to get much better than he is now, despite the A- potential. You get a roster player back in terms of Antoine Walker, but you get a 2010 first-round pick that is very far down the road. But we are like 15 years into this, and nobody's won. So, you know, it's a time. It's a time. We're here because we're scared to risk it for the biscuit. I mean, you did risk it for the biscuit this year by trading for Marcus Camby, who was apparently going to be back in 1 to 2 weeks. Okay, you know what? I'm going to take down that first poll. Now that you know Marcus Camby's back in a week or two. You're not very good. You are under 500. So here's your choice, chat. Here's your situation. You're under 500, but Marcus Camby's coming back in a week or two. You could take this offer for Jamal Crawford, or if you're going to nuke it in a week anyway, you could just risk putting Crawford in the trade request, the trade finder, and maybe you get more for him. So if you elect not to tank, who knows? You make the playoffs, who knows what happens? You could take this deal. Yeah. So, again, the trade will be yes or no. But now that you have those extra factors in your head, what do you think? What do you think? Do you take this trade? Because if you take this trade, you're pretty much saying, yeah, we're going to nuke it at the deadline. What will it be, chat? Will you accept this trade? Will you set up? Well, Camby is only a -11 because he's hurt. What do you think? Are you still leaning towards the nuclear option? If so, I think you take the trade. Or if you didn't want to take this trade and see what other trades are out there, you're good to go. But you don't know if you'll get a trade like this again. So... what will it be? Right now, it is a dead even vote. If it stays dead even, it goes to a wheel spin to decide the fate of Jamal Crawford. It is a very, very close vote. 17 apiece. Will you take the 2010 first rounder and Antoine Walker for Jamal Crawford? Krista, good morning. How are you? Keep up the good work on Twitter. What will it be, chat? What will it be? It's a 1 vote difference right now. Crawford is an A- potential, but he's 25. So it doesn't really matter that much anymore. Doesn't really matter that much anymore. Dead even vote. I'm going to get the wheel prepared just in case this stays tied. Crash Andrews with the gifted sub as well. Chat is very conflicted. Chat is very divided on what to do. The yes vote wins by 2 votes. Jamal Crawford being dealt to Miami for Antoine Walker and a 2010 first round pick. Done deal. We are a day out from the deadline. So let's do it. I think chat's made it clear. You're 6 games under 500. After taking that trade, we'll have one more vote to make sure that you're really, really sure. Do you blow up the team via trade finder? Are you done with the core of Dirk and Vince? Are you blowing it up right here and right now on this deadline day? You just traded away one of your better role players. Marcus Camby's back from injury in a week or two. Are you nuking it? Are you nuking it? You already started the process in a sense. It's looking pretty locked in. It's looking pretty locked in. All right. Well, let's start off with the newest edition of Antoine Walker, if it'll let you. So for Antoine Walker, who you just picked up, get AC Manning. Get a nice sneeze in there. Jonathan Bender, who is significantly younger. Pfizer and Ostertag, LOL. Ed Cheeks, Rod Reed. I'm aware you want picks, but you don't know if you're going to get offered picks. You get a 2009 first rounder from Atlanta, along with Calbert Chaney for Walker, and a 2008 second. It would leave you without any 2008 picks at the moment. So it is a deal that has to match a first rounder from Atlanta. Hey, you could get Juwan Howard back after all these years. Let's see. Tim James. Can't wait for Tuga to win this. Fucking I love how divided chat is. I love it. There's a dude named Damian Westbrook. Only a C potential. Oh, that's my team. I was like, wait a minute, that name's familiar. Josh Smith. Only a B minus, but a 78 at 20 years old. You have to debate whether or not Josh Smith is better than whoever you could get for that Atlanta trade involving the pick. So your choice, chat. Walker and a dude named Sasser for Pete Moore, but the big haul is 20-year-old Josh Smith. So do you take the Toronto deal for Josh Smith, or do you take the Atlanta deal for their 2009 first round pick? I got a feeling I know what it's going to be. But Josh Smith, again, B minus potential for Josh Smith, but he's 20 years old and already a 78, so he can get better. Very, very strong player to potentially build around, but if you want to tank for multiple years, you don't go for him and you go for the 09 first. And it's looking interesting. Relatively close. Atlanta is likely to win this. Atlanta's likely to win it. And we're going to call it in favor of the Atlanta Hawks. So Antoine Walker will be flipped along with a 2008 second round pick for Atlanta's 2009 first and veteran Calbert Chaney. That is a done deal. Again, the nuclear option kicking in. Is there anything for Gary Forbes? Apparently there is. That Ilyasova trade's amazing. That Ilyasova trade is amazing. How many times have you seen Team jump in the lottery and fuck to get a top pick? B potential for Ilyasova at 18 years old. That is a great, great deal. Is there anything that can match that? Especially given that this is just a random fucking point guard. C potential for that dude. Westbrook, C minus. Well, you guys are getting a steal on this particular deal. Because if there's a better deal than Ilyasova, then oh my god. No first round pick, but that's an easy. I don't even have to propose that. It's Gary Forbes and a second round pick in 06 for Ersan Ilyasova and a second round pick in 09. That is a steal and a half for you guys from Philadelphia. Except you can't do it because you'd be over the cap. This trade requires a trade exception. We can hold off then. We can hold off on that. We'll see if they offer it in a minute. But clearly that means you have to handle the big money right now. Are you allowed to trade Marcus Camby? You're not. So Camby will be here for the rest of the season. You can't trade him. Let's start off then with Vince Carter. Are there any trade offers for Vince Carter? Carter, Forbes, and Griffin for Devin Harris and Quentin Richardson. Not bad at all. Harris is a B potential at 23. Richardson's a B potential at 25. Tim Thomas is 28. Jay Williams is 24, but also you got to be cognizant of a Forbes deal. Andre Miller, he's 29 though, and Andrew Bogut. Bogut's a B minus. I mean, you could pick up Bogut and flip Miller. Ben Gordon and Jalen Rose. You could try to flip Jalen Rose if it would let you. Wang Shishi and Louis Williams. Larry Hughes and Stromio Swift along with the 2010 first. That doesn't fit what you're trying to do at all. Rashard Lewis and Derek Wagner. Rafer Alston. Jason Williams, Antoine Jameson, Robert Ory, Sean Marion and Eddie Jones. Derek Fisher, Ricky Davis. Edgar Wells and Eddie Curry. B minus for Wells. Curry's 23 with a B. It's always Forbes and Carter. You have both selected. I do. My bad. Good catch. All right, so let's just see outright then for Vince. Still get Harrison Richardson. They added Garrett Strickland. There's a C+ potential. Williams and Thomas. Manu Ginobili and Andrew Bogut for Carter and Chaney. Ben Gordon and Jalen Rose. Gordon B- potential. Wang Zhiji and Louis Williams. Rashard Lewis and a 2007 first-round pick from the Hornets. That is the current deal. No doubt about that. Vince Carter for Rashard Lewis and a first-round pick. That's a great fucking deal, especially if you choose to flip Lewis. Could also get Kenny Anderson in an 06 first-rounder, but the easy deal is Rashard Lewis. Easy. That is the easy deal to take. Just because of it's basically multiple first-round picks as opposed to Kenny Anderson, who's not really that. Kittles and Williams, Jameson and Ory, Eddie Curry. I'm not trading you Ray Allen. Sorry, I'm rejecting. Actually, well, you know, if you wanted to trade me Vince Carter for Ray Allen, I'd consider it. I'd consider it. Kenyon Martin, Isaiah Ryder, Stephon Marbury, Colin Pollard, Jason Terry, and Josh Smith. And Jerry Stackhouse, Coutinho Mobley. Well, it seems pretty obvious then, that Hornets deal. That Hornets deal. Again, they are a good team, but having their first-round pick next year might not be that bad. Might not be. And Vince Carter could really upset their cap structure. So that's the deal. 2007 first and Rashard Lewis for Vince Carter. The nuke is in full effect. Done deal. Done deal. Now it's Dirk's turn. Now it's Dirk's turn. I'm still shocked you guys elected to do this. The offers for Dirk. There's 20 of them. Dirk and Sasser for Joe Smith, the multiple-time MVP Joe Smith, and Darko. Darko Milicic with a B- potential, so obviously that deal would be pick up Darko, flip Joe Smith. Devin Harris and Quentin Richardson again. Williams and Bridges. Miller and Bogut. Gordon and Rose. Chris Bosh from the Clippers. Bosh and Paxson. Now all of a sudden that deal's not looking so bad. That's the best deal so far from the Clippers, who of course have Pierce and Kobe. They want to win. But Chris Bosh and a 3-star point guard, Chuck Paxson, who's a B+ potential. That's actually a good trade. That's actually a pretty damn good trade. If you're going to give up Dirk, that's not a bad return at all. Marshall and G, Larry Hughes and Swift. Alston and Kittles. Antoine Jameson and an 06 first rounder, but it is top 3 protected. So the Lakers offering Antoine Jameson, who you can flip, and an 06 first rounder. Scott and Buford. Yao Ming and a 2007 first round pick from Denver. All right. Well, you found something to compare to the Chris Bosh trade. You also got Sean Marion and a top 3 protected pick from the Pacers. Fisher and Posey. Mayo and Curry. Buckner and Mitchell. I'm not trading you Ray Allen. Well, actually, again, if you wanted to trade Dirk Nowitzki for Ray Allen, I'd consider it. Kenyon Martin, Salem Stoudemire, Jefferson, and Smith. All right, chat. Well, you got a choice. You can take the deal from the LA Clippers for Chris Bosh, 21 years old, A potential, already in 87, and Chuck Paxson, who's 22, B+ potential as a point guard. Or you could take Yao Ming and a 2007 first. The 7'5" sensation Yao Ming. So it is either the Clippers deal or the Nuggets deal for Dirk Nowitzki. Will it be the LA Clipper deal for Bosh? Or will it be the Nuggets deal for Yao and a first? I got a feeling you're taking that Denver deal. People didn't want to go for Camby, but now for Yao. You're allowed to, if it lets you flip Yao, you're allowed to try to flip him. You can just keep going with this. It's the nuclear option. Let's get silly with it. You can just keep flipping players as much as you want to flip them. This is close, man. Dead even right now. Dead even. I mean, again, Bosh is such a young player. You also, I mean, again, you get 2 great players with this. You don't know if the player that you get with that pick alongside Yao, if he'll even be as good as Chuck Paxson. So will it be Yao or Bosh, Paxson, or the first? Again, you are allowed to flip. Will chat risk it for Yao, his injury rating? Can't see it from there. By 1 vote, Chris Bosh is coming to Orlando. By 1 vote, Dirk Nowitzki and Jason Sasser to the LA Clippers for Chris Bosh and Chuck Paxson. That is a done deal. Dirk joins Paul Pierce and Kobe Bryant with the Clippers. Marcus Camby, again, you are not allowed to trade. If you want to flip, I mean, I imagine, if you disagree with the idea of flipping Rashard Lewis, speak now. I need to see if it's worth putting to a vote, but I'm pretty sure you guys are going to want to flip Rashard Lewis, and it will let you. All right, so you are allowed to get Quentin Richardson. Not a great one. Not a great one. Let's see. Whoops. We got Jay Williams, Chuck Bridges, young center, young point guard. Ben Gordon, Jalen Rose, Larry Hughes, and Christian Laettner. You'd also have to move Felton, though. Lamar Odom, same age, about the same rating. Kenny Anderson, Jackson Reed, Kerry Kittles, Jason Williams, Antoine Jamison, and a 2008 top 3 protected pick from the Lakers, which you probably want to take because you do not have a 2008 first rounder, and you could flip Antoine Jamison. Van Exel and Mo Baker, Tony Woodson, Larry Johnson, Sean Marion, Drew Gooden, Mark Aguirre, Jeff Warren, Bradley and Foster, Curry, a guy named Billy Owens, Mason. You know, if you want to do that deal for Ray Allen, I would take that, chat. I would take that. Rashard Lewis and your first round pick in 06. Kenyon Martin, Isaiah Ryder. Corey Maggette and a 2008 first round pick from Golden State. Maggette's flippable. That's an unprotected first rounder from Golden State. Richard Jefferson in a second. You just have to flip Jefferson. So that's it then. It's the Warriors deal, right? It's the Warriors deal. The Lakers deal had Jameson and a protected pick. The Warriors trade is unprotected. So Rashard Lewis for Corey Maggette and a 2008 first. Again, now you can see why I only let each of us do this once. You know? But you get the hard reset. Rashard Lewis for Corey Maggette and a 2008 first. Jay Marty with the 2 years. That's what I'm talking about, Marty. How are you, buddy? Can't do anything about Camby, but you can try to flip Corey Maggette. Can we flip Camby in the offseason? No. You can put him on the trade block, but this is it. This is it. The timing wasn't there for you to be able to flip Camby. So the offers that are out there for Corey Maggette, if none of them are interesting, I will also allow you to pair people with people. Or will I? Maybe not. Maybe that's a bridge too far. What would have happened if you put Dirk together with Vince Carter? Who knows? You'll never know now. Richardson and Thomas. Jay Williams. The second. Rogers and Trevor Ariza. So you could try to flip Rogers. How good's Trevor Ariza? B potential at 20 years old for Trevor Ariza. Jalen Rose in a second. Deshaun Stevenson, Earl Boykin. Christian Laettner, but you do get a 2008 first rounder from the Heat. It is top 3 protected. But if you're really that desperate for first round picks, bring in Laettner and flip him. That's lottery protected for the Michael Finley pick, so that's definitely not worth it. Jason Williams, Kurt Thomas, Jameson, and Robert Horry. I mean, the Jameson one's not that bad because then you could flip him. Honestly, that Antoine Jameson deal is not terrible. Nick Van Exel in a second. Larry Johnson and a top 5 protected pick from the Nuggets. Probably better to still go for the Miami deal. Gooden and Jones. Sean Bradley for Maggette in a first. Eddie Curry. He's got a B potential at 23. Boeheim and Landry. Butler and Westbrook. I would take that deal. Francis and Paul. Not Chris Paul, but Jamal Paul. Hito and Madsen. Mobley and Delk. Well, you didn't get any unprotected pick offers. You could go for the flip of Jay Williams, who's got a B+ potential. You could go for the Laettner deal and a first round pick. Top 3 protected. No guarantees you'd be able to flip Laettner, but you never know. Or the Lakers offer of Jameson and Robert Horry. And you could look to flip both of them. So those are your 3 offers. Pretty much. And we'll leave it to a vote. Maggette in a second for Williams on Washington. Look to flip him. Do you take the Miami deal of Christian Laettner and a first? Well, it does have some protections. Or do you take the Lakers deal of Jameson and Robert Horry and still look to flip? What will it be? As we let chat blow their team the fuck up in a desperate attempt to get your club back on track. And right now, Jay Williams appears to be the favorite, who again you could hold on to or flip. We're going to have a lot of polls as well for who you guys are choosing to hold on to or flip. This isn't anywhere close. I'm also surprised you blew it up. All right, the deal is official. Corey Maggette and a 2006 second-round pick to the Washington Wizards for Jay Williams. That is a done deal. That is a done deal. Again, you can't flip Camby. So Jay Williams, again, we'll check every damn player at this point just to see if there's a deal you want to pull the trigger on or not. So Jay Williams, let's look at the deals that are out there for him. And Quentin Richardson, Eaton Thomas, that's not worth it. Thomas and Chuck Bridges, also not worth it. Jalen Rose, Ed Cheeks, Boykin and Tucker. So Jay Williams, you could flip to Miami for a 2006 first, top 5 protected. And Christian Laettner. Flip him along with the second to New Orleans for Al Harrington and a 2010 first. Obviously, that's the winner at the moment. Harrington's flippable, and it's a 2010 unprotected first. 2006 first rounder, unprotected, and Michael Finley. Got a feeling that's probably going to win. Keem Warwick, Alston and Williams. Top 3 protected first. Ooh, you also got to give up one, so nope. Top 3 protected first, Nick Van Exel. Lottery protected first from Denver, I know you're not interested in. Top 3 protected first, and Sean Bradley from the Rockets. Eddie Curry. Owens and Boeheim. I wouldn't even take that, to be honest. It's my team, and I wouldn't take it. All right. So your best options, and the way we will vote for this: Williams to Miami for top 5 protected first, and Christian Laettner. You could trade him to New Orleans for Al Harrington and a 2010 first. You could trade him to Utah for an 06 first and Michael Finley. Or the Jameson deal, the Van Exel deal, Larry Johnson deal. There is the Houston trade of a 06 first. It's top 3 protected, and Sean Bradley, who you could try to flip. Or you could hold. Or you could hold on to Jay Williams and say that he's staying. What's the Jazz record right now? Can't check it. Can't check it. Let's vote for the T-Wolves trade. I wouldn't take it. Oh, at this point, with all this future trades you're doing, we're playing. Even if I win, we're still going just to see what the hell your team looks like by the end of this. At this rate. It's looking like it's going to be the Utah Jazz offer of Jay Williams for an unprotected 06 first rounder and veteran Michael Finley. Done deal with the Utah Jazz. Next up, Shane Battier. Might as well. Nope. Okay, so you cannot trade Shane Battier. Let's see what you could get for Chris Bosh if you chose to go in that direction. I'm not saying you will. Again, the poll will have a hold option. But you cannot trade Camby. You cannot trade Battier. I will consider being a kind god of letting you do this towards the draft when you're allowed to trade both of them. I'll consider it. I'm going to look for... you can't even trade... Yeah, that's right. You can't even look at Bosh deals anyway. You can look at deals for Michael Finley, though. So deals for Michael Finley. Second rounder for Herb Bowen. Bell in Houston. Christian Laettner. Finley in a second for Laettner. I mean, there's no harm in having Christian Laettner on your roster for half a second to try to flip him. There's literally no harm in it. Like, yes, he's got a bad contract. Who cares? Who the fuck are you guys going to sign? You're going to be terrible. So you could at least consider the Laettner flip. Let's see. You'd have to add Gortat to that deal, so that's not worth it. Jason Williams and Clifford Little, but you'd have to trade Mo. Tony Allen, Robert Horry. Second rounder for Larry Johnson. Gooden. Could trade Finley and a second to Houston for Bradley and try to flip Bradley. Same for Phoenix with Billy Owens. Same for the Sonics with Landry, but we'll go off of the highest rated dudes there. Michael Finley for Hal Geiger and Gortat, I would say no to. Oh, how good's this Franklin Patterson guy? B+ potential for this dude. He's 24. So honestly, your best options, this Charlotte Bobcats trade. Franklin Patterson, he's 24 with B+ potential. He's a 77. Mainly, probably more of a 76. You could take the Miami Heat offer for Christian Laettner to try and flip him and see if he has better value. He might not, because it is a pretty rough option. Or you could take the Houston deal for Sean Bradley and try to flip him. Or you could hold, but it's Michael Finley, so why would you hold? So it's pretty much, do you want to try to flip someone for someone decent, or just get a young guy who can at least play some good minutes for you and maybe turns into something? So you have to hold on to Bosch. You literally can't flip him right now. The question is, what happens with him in the future? All right. Fair enough with the Charlotte deal. I don't blame you for taking the Charlotte deal. It's Michael Finley off to the Bobcats. Done deal there. And that might be it for you guys blowing it up. You can't move Camby, Battier, Bosch. You could move Raymond Felton. Like, now you're getting into, like, super young player territory. Now you're getting into young player territory. What we get for, I'll show you what you could get for Felton. I'll at least show you what you can get for these guys. But I'm pretty sure you're going to want to keep it. Like, oh, it would have to be a first-round pick or bust. There was a decent deal for Forbes originally. We don't know if that'll still be there. I'm going to go through this pretty fast, and obviously I'm not going to screw you guys. Like, if there's a good deal worth taking, we could explore it. Yeah, you're not going to want to move. Well, that's about your only deal right there. Well, technically, you got two deals that might be worth it. The Curry deal wasn't worth it because of the pick involved. These are your two best options, in my opinion, for Raymond Felton. Yeah, if you go back to Curry, you'd have to give up a first-round pick for him. So these are your two best options. It would be Raymond Felton to Golden State, along with a second-round pick for a veteran in Pollard, but you do get a 2010 first-rounder. There's this deal here, Felton and Williams to Toronto for Josh Smith and Keith Bogans, or you keep Raymond Felton. Those are your three choices. Again, Raymond Felton, 22 years old, B- potential. Josh Smith is 20, B- potential, already a 77. Look at the J. Will trade, too. Why? Why would you possibly? He's an 80 overall, and you'd have to take Juwan Howard. You sure? You sure that's the one where you want to try to flip them? Are you sure? I could put that back on the poll. I personally wouldn't take that. But we could put it there. And it's looking like the vote is going to be to keep Raymond Felton. All right, done deal. Raymond Felton stays. Done deal. Raymond Felton stays. Franklin Patterson, who you just picked up. Let's see if it's worth flipping him. Didn't see Howard. Exactly. That's why you trust my judgment, so I can go through it faster. Trust me. Like I said, I'm not sitting here trying to dick you out of a good trade. Why would I waste time being like, well, chat, I wouldn't take this trade. Are you dumb enough to? I mean, the answer to that might be yes, based off of what the hell you've done with the team lately, but... All right, Bonner is a B+. Forte is a B-. Gortat's only a C. Patterson's a B+. I mean, it kind of evens out between he and Bonner. And Forte wouldn't be bad, but Gortat can get better. You might want to hold on to Forbes, because I think you could do better than getting Williams and trying to flip him. Jeffries and Ori. I mean, you could check to see what you could get for Robert Ori. There's nothing really jumping off the page here. You guys have already declined trading certain people for a flip option. That's from Minnesota, so I wouldn't do it. You already traded Corey Maggette. Do you want to trade Cody Maggette? Haslam's a B minus. He's better, but he's 25. To be honest, brutal. I'm not guaranteeing that you're allowed to flip Camby. So honestly, I don't think you take anything for Patterson there, based off of what I know you guys want. I'll check this. Well, you can't check Chuck Paxton. What about Calbert Cheney? Is there anything interesting for Calbert Cheney? Westbrook is mine. You got nothing interesting. I think you guys are done. You can't trade Wallace. Can you trade Garrett Strickland of Strickland Propane? Strickland's 25, C+. So you could trade him with a second-round pick to get Darko, who's a B-. That's not a bad little deal there. Not at all. That's a lottery-protected first from Chicago. You could do that and try to flip the Pfizer fella. But, I mean, a lottery-protected first-rounder. You could go for it for the hell of it. Bob Cheatham's 25, so what's the difference? Matt Bonner in a second. I mean, that would just be a free second-rounder. You have to give up a first to get Jason Williams. Robert Horry in a second. How good's Ray Gordon? C. Sam Bennett, Randy Allen, Joe Garnett, Muhammad at best. Daniels is up there. I wouldn't trade you Barbosa. Yeah, that Darko trade's not that bad. Until that happened. Strickland and Griffin for Doliak and a top 3 protected first-round pick in 2008 from the Bobcats. That's the deal to take. I get you got Darko at a B-. If you wanted to stack picks, that'd be the way to do it. So let's see what you think. So you can take the Charlotte offer to bring Doliak back and get the 08 first rounder, even though it's protected, or you trade Strickland with the second to Philadelphia for Darko. This might be the final deal that you guys get. So do you bring in Darko, or do you pick up a first rounder from the Bobcats? And hey, as long as it's not top 3, you're looking good. That Charlotte trade getting some love. You also don't have to give up a second-round pick in that deal. Couple more votes and it'll be official. There it is. So the Bobcats deal of Doliak and the conditional first goes through for Garrett Strickland and Adrian Griffin. Just about fully blown up this team. Are you allowed to flip Doliak will be the question. There was nothing out there for Cheney. Right? Scott, Westbrook, I wouldn't trade you. Maggette and Corliss. Yeah, it's not worth it. Maggette for a second. It's not worth it. You can't trade Wallace. What could you get from Mo Williams? Might as well look. We're already here. You could flip Mo in a second for Ersan Ilyasova. And a 2008 pick from the Sixers. It is top 3 protected, but that's a pretty damn good trade. Ilyasova, B potential. Mo is a B-. That's an interesting one at least. Thomas is 27. Pfizer and Ostertag. Top 10 protected pick from the Heat, but you'd also have to give up one, so that's not what you're looking for at all. Mo Williams and Gortat for Matt Bonner and an unprotected 08 first rounder from Sacramento. I think that'll very much be in contention. Jason Williams in a second, not necessarily worth it for you guys. Scott Pollard. Bradley in a second. Top 5 protected pick from me, LOL. Josh Smith from the Raptors. So again, Smith is a B-. So Smith is a direct improvement. Again, Williams is 23, B-. 74. Smith is 20, B-. 77. The Sixers deal is Mo and a second for Ilyasova and a top 3 protected first rounder in 08. Ilyasova with B potential. And then that final deal that was there, Sacramento, is Bonner and an 08 first for Williams and Gortat. And Gortat with C potential. Matt Bonner is a B+, but he's 25. So let's see what you guys think. Will it be the Sacramento deal for Bonner and an 08 first? Will it be the Raptors deal? I'll put that up there. I doubt it'll win, but for Josh Smith. Will it be the Philly deal for Ersan Ilyasova and an 08 first that is protected? That is the question, because again, that Heat trade wasn't worth it. Or you can keep Mo. I don't know if you're going to keep Mo when that much is on the line. So let's see what Chad elects to do and what will be one of the final trades. I would imagine will be one of the final trades that we have here. From Chat's nuclear option to fully blow up the core and start fresh. Right now, it's looking like Philly for Ilyasova in the first, as opposed to Bonner in the 08 unprotected first. Again, 76ers is Mo in a second for Ilyasova and a top 3 protected first from the Sixers, who have won back-to-back titles, by the way, but could be on the way down by the time that pick runs out. Or the Kings deal of Mo and Gortat for Bonner and an 08 first. And it will be the Philadelphia pick. Mo Williams in a second off to Philly for Ersan Ilyasova. And a first-round pick in 08 that's top 3 protected. That is a done deal. And with that, I think we're just about out of options for you guys. Nope, you can flip Doliak. Doliak in a second for a dude named Ray Holmes is a C+. Probably not worth giving up the second for that, but Holmes honestly isn't that bad. AC Manning's 32, Howard, a trade exception, Grant Hill. Wilkes is pretty bad, plus Holo Candy's in there. Cheney and Doliak paired. I don't think I'm going to allow you guys to pair players at this point. I don't think I'm going to allow you to. I think that's a bit much, because it can pair players on its own. Look, it's Kelly Gill. It's a C. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll be nice. Hey, I could get Juwan Howard back again. Ray Gordon, 21, only a C potential. Ray Allen. Not Ray Allen, Randy Allen. I'm used to saying Ray Allen. Well, Michael Doliak on his own isn't worth trading. Doliak on his own isn't really worth trading. You could get Holmes, who could get better, but he's also a second-round pick, so he wouldn't even have a player option for you guys in the future. I don't think you'd want to flip Ersan Ilyasova. Is there a deal that would even be worth it for you? I'm going to guess the answer is no. Walton's a D+ potential. No offer that's really worth it for Ilyasova. Gortat. Can go through this really quickly, see if we got a good young prospect. I mean, I'm at least going to check for everybody, because that's where we're at. It's pretty much where we're at, is just seeing every possible option. Darius Walton in a second. Yeah, there's no way there's going to be anything overly good for Ersan Ilyasova either. What about this dude, Gary Turner? Get Greg Ostertag back. Get a random second for him. To be honest, I mean, you might as well take that. It's not like that dude's any good either. Get another second rounder. Looks like you can pretty much pick up a random second-round pick for this dude, so you might as well. You're not going to get anything too crazy. But this dude literally has no value for you whatsoever. So you might as well pick up the Boston second-rounder. I'm just going to do that for you, because there's literally no reason not to do it. Bunny, take it easy. Let's see. Gortat. We already looked at the offers for Gortat, right? So then it was Forbes who started all of this. Originally, there was a deal involving him for Ilyasova. Yeah, there's not going to be anything overly remember. Oh, you're not allowed to nuke twice. The nuke option happens once, and once only. You are not allowed to do this again. So the final nuke, let's just see. For shits and gigs, if we were to pair, you can pair 3 players together. For shits and gigs, if you were to pair even the bottom 3 guys together, would you get anything in return that was worth it? The answer for that one is no. I'm just gonna keep checking this really quickly. For shits and giggles, the final volley. The final volley. And then we'll see what the hell this team looks like at the end of this. So you take Ilyasova out, add Doliak. Just for shits and gigs, would there theoretically be a trade offer here that would be worth it to you guys as a pairing option? And it doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. I think you guys would pretty much be capped out here, because I wouldn't take that trade for Albert Johnson. So say you were to take out Forbes, add in Patterson. This is pretty much the last combination you could do. It would also, so it would want Cheney, Doliak, Patterson in a second. And you could get A- potential Hakeem Warwick. So you probably do that with Sacramento. And then that's that. Why don't you nuke with us? Because I might win a title. I might win a title this year. So yeah, honestly, that's one worth taking. I mean, Cheney, Doliak, Patterson for Warwick. Although Patterson's a B+. So basically, you use Doliak, Cheney in a second to upgrade from a B+ to an A-. Another power forward. Why not? Gives you good options. Any against this? Diamond Ace is against it. So let's see. One more poll. The final poll. Yes or no to this trade offer. Franklin Patterson, B- potential. 2 guys and a pick you don't even want. But you get Warwick, who's 23, a 75, and an A-. Why not? Why not? The final volley. The final volley. It's pretty much the last thing you can do based off of the dudes on the team. Also, Landry, for the record's a B- at 23 years old. So it's I would personally take that trade. I'm not even lying. I would personally take that trade. Let's see what chat does. Their final hurrah of the nuclear option. I cannot wait to explore what the hell this team looks like here in a minute, because this is going to be hilarious. What's it going to be? Yes is winning out right now. And it is a done deal. Cheney, Doliak, and Patterson, along with a 2009 second round of the Sacramento Kings for Hakeem Warwick and Daryl Landry. And I think that, oh my God, this team. I think that is the last thing you can do, because again, Camby can't be traded because he's injured. Battier, Bosch, Felton could be dealt. But here's the real last hurrah for shits and giggles involving Raymond Felton, even though you guys elected to keep him. I just want to see what's out there. And the answer is nothing. You are done. You are officially done, chat. The nuking has commenced. Holy shit.